Welcome back, gents. And maybe the first time all season we've all smiled.
Yeah, man. It's good to be on a match reaction after you win a game and we played well. It wasn't scrappy. It wasn't horrible. It wasn't like hard to watch. Nice and comfortable. We absolutely love to see it. Like being able to sit there and watch us keep possession well. I was just happy overall. It was a good performance. But I'm not going to get carried away. The one thing I will say is I don't think Crystal Palace came to Old Trafford to win tonight. I think they're like, screw it. Put out a second string team. Make sure we don't get battered. And we'll just go home. We've got to focus on the league. We've got to focus on the game. Where they come back on the weekend, which for them will be more important than this game where they're going to go in the cup and probably not win it. So it was an easier Crystal Palace side. So people coming out and saying, oh, the reason why we played better is just because Bruno and Rashford didn't play, and this team should be the one moving forward. This is how we will play football forever now. If these guys are dropped and these guys are playing, we need to relax. We need to relax. We look good. I was happy with the performances, but do you not think the reason why we played so well isn't because Bruno and Rashford weren't playing? And it's more because we actually had energy in the midfield. We actually had legs on the pitch. We had some players that can retain the ball and some players that are direct. We had actual balance in this Man United team that we have not seen in a while. Casemiro did not look old today because guess what? He had Amrabat, he had Mount, he had Hannibal all around him. Garnacho, Pellistri, all around him with legs and energy. So I want to see a team with the Brunos and the Rashfords with these other guys in there. I want to see a whole fit squad because imagine we're game 1-0, we're up, we're under pressure a bit, need a bit of energy. You know what? Mount, you can come on. Or if Mount started, Hannibal, you come on. Or Mainu. Or Amrabat. Or you know what? Maybe Rashford is on the bench. Garnacho comes off, Rashford comes on in attack. It's all good thing here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't see why people have turned this into, yo, let's take shots at this guy because he's crap now. And look at this team. We're so much better now. But everyone relax, man. Because if Rashford and Bruno played the same game against Crystal Palace and scored or got an assist, they'll say, well, this Crystal Palace team didn't really try against us. You know? So the excuses will come out then. So happy for the win. Let's build on this. This is what we say when we was waiting for people to come back. Varane was back. Maguire was back. Those two today, solid. Evans and Lindelof, solid. People who are fit and available, everyone was solid today. And that's what we've been missing. We've had 12 injuries in the opening, 8 games? That's mad. We're getting our players back. We're finding some groove, and I hope we go from there. So, United fans, let's use this as a platform to actually start supporting the damn team where we can. Please. Thank you.
I hear you, bro. And Staffy, I want to come to you next because, you're someone that has been critical of the club in exactly the right way. You've challenged things, but you've always remained, let's wait until our players come back before we start throwing baby out with that bathwater.
Hey, this, what are you doing? What Terry said was correct. Don't even play with
minus Casemiro, but carry on.
Okay. I'm so happy that this is how we started the show. I have no problem answering this. When I spoke about Casemiro, I spoke about a specific role in this team. I didn't say this guy should retire. I didn't say just sell him, by the way. I said sell him to Saudi because I was looking at the money at the time, and I knew I could have reinvested it. But what happened today, by the way, doesn't prove me wrong. It proves me right. Listen, this is how I wanted to start the show. And I'm going to say his name in his native language. Sufyan Amrabat. Sufyan Amrabat, welcome to Manchester United. Because I've been waiting on you, okay? I've been waiting for a while. I've been talking about you, but they didn't know who you were. They thought you were just that track back merchant from the World Cup who just tackled Mbappe. And I was like, no. You guys got it wrong. That's not who he is. He's much more than that. And they're like, oh, did you watch more than the World Cup hype? Ha. All right. You seen him today. And I'm upset that Cam is not here from the last show. I even texted KJ. I was like, make sure Cam is here. Not you, Cam. Not Canadian Cam.
England Cam.
English Cam. Yeah, not you. There was a Cam over here that I
Who's
sat
with
here.
Cam?
Oh, you'll meet him soon. Don't worry. It means he can't make it today.
Listen, with the way he was talking last week,
sorry.
with the way he was talking last week, Cam, or last game, he's the B-Tech Cam compared to you, because even you don't say what he said. Listen, this guy sat here, and I tried to explain to him, don't expect a style of play with the likes of McTominay running your midfield. And he told me it's excuses. And I kept explaining, and all he said, excuses. Today, Terry, you read out the stat about Amrabat's passing. This guy today, he misplaced 3 passes in 61 minutes. I think he had a conversion rate of 97%. This is what I've been screaming for this team. Someone to show to the ball, pick up the ball, and just do that number 6 role. I know he started as a left back, but he wasn't. And Terry, I messaged you before the game. I was like, yo, keep an eye on Amrabat. He's not actually a left back today. You'll see how much he inverts into that midfield. And he did it perfectly. And Dizzy, since you wanted to mention Casemiro, today Casemiro looked excellent. You know why? Because he didn't have to do that regista role on his own. It was Amrabat doing it. Amrabat was like, I'm going to facilitate. I'm going to stay behind you. Whenever you have to go forward, don't worry, I'm here. And even when Casemiro did it, Casemiro still did a part of his game. But you see when Casemiro has to split the duty with someone else, because a lot of people said he wasn't a lone 6. He's never been a lone 6. And people mistook what he used to do in Madrid as if he was a main number 6 who advances the play. He never did that. He used to be advanced up the pitch. He doesn't progress the play. And today he did that. The man got a goal and assist. And it just shows me that when he has a 6 next to him, he can unlock him. Now, you can say that about a lot of people, by the way, and which I'm good with, because I'm looking at some of these players. I can't tell you who's the main starting midfielder when Amrabat starts in that midfield. Because yes, today he did invert in. We will do this a lot, by the way. We're going to sacrifice one of the fullback positions to have one of our midfielders invert into that midfield. But listen, it just shows me today how much when you have a competent number 6 in your team, how much it can make everyone else look better. And listen, I'm not one of Bruno's biggest fans, but even Bruno would have looked good in this team today because we were able to keep the ball. We were able to take the ball. When Onana was looking for a pass, he didn't find McTominay hiding. He found Amrabat telling him, here, give me the ball. Amrabat moves with the ball. Here, link up play, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. They were pinging balls to the right side of the pitch, that full first half, to Palestri, to Delo. The whole team's dynamic changed the minute we added one more midfielder in that midfield, and actually was a good midfielder, because I love Eriksen, but Eriksen, you can't do this job anymore. McTominay, I don't want to see you on the pitch anymore. Even Hannibal, I'm sorry. I mean, he didn't have a good game today, but I'm not really going to dwell over the negatives today. But I'm very happy to finally sit here and tell people I told you so. I told you so. I spoke to you about the importance of a 6, the importance of having a 6 that could do the role instead of Casemiro or next to Casemiro. And listen, people are going to sit here and say, well, it's only Palace. Well, when I was telling you it's Burnley, and we're not going to do anything against Burnley because it's McTominay, they said it doesn't matter the opponent. If you have a style of play, you should do it against any opposition. The last time I checked the league, Palace are ahead of Burnley. So technically, we played a better team. But the difference is we had better players that can do what the manager wants. So if people wanted a style of play, Terry, like you said, we had to wait. Today we waited. We got a few players back. We got Mount back. We got them back. And listen, we looked good, and I have nothing to complain about. Hopefully, as we move forward, we see more of this.
I agree. I think what's interesting is that there'll be lots of games this season, especially at home, where I'll be very comfortable with starting Amrabat on the screen as a left back and then have him invert. I'll be very, very comfortable with that, especially when we have nearly 70% of the ball. What's very interesting for me, though, today is that I think we tried to play this way against Wolves. I think we tried to play this way against Tottenham. But our fullbacks, especially with Shaw and AW, these guys were standing so wide and weren't inverting that our midfield was being run through. Today, you literally almost Amrabat in that first half was doing what Zinchenko does for Arsenal as an example, and it gave us that extra body in that midfield area, and it was key. And I think that a lot of people have said they don't know what Ten Hag has been trying to do. And I got to a point where I stopped defending it because it was almost, I felt like King Canute asking the tide to go out. People just didn't want to see that he was trying to do something that was possession based. And again, today is a reason why you see, I look at today and go, but today shows why he wanted Onana, because he also needs that, which is why I think after 5 games, it's okay to criticize the games individually, but I felt there was far too much of an overreaction. I felt there was far too much. This is it. What we've seen in the first 5 games is what the season is going to look like. And we just know that that's not, we know it ain't true for loads of reasons. Look at Chelsea. They've had the most possession in the league, 67%. But any Chelsea fan that doesn't believe that's going to drop by 10 to 15%, once they've, again, 6 games in, once they've played Brighton and City and Liverpool and Arsenal and Fulham away and Newcastle away and Man United away, they're not going to have 67% of the ball across all their games. It's going to drop to mid-50s, maybe high 50s a push as an example. So you can't look at everything and every metric after 5 and 6 games and go, this is the pattern for the season, especially when a team, even looking at today, Wan-Bissaka's still out, Shaw's still out, Maino's still out, Malassia's still out, Ahmad's still out, Martinez still out, and Anthony and Sancho, we know what they're not out, but they're missing for different reasons. You look at that and I think to myself, Shaw could play in a team like this. We know that he can. Whether he starts in a centre-back role and pushes out, or whether he starts at left-back, I think Mainu will do well. Martinez, how much is Martinez going to benefit from having a player like Amrabat in front of him on the ball when that's what he's key at as an example? And look, Palestri, I thought did well today. I'm still intrigued to see Ahmad get a go in that position because we saw what he did. Dizzy, what are you saying, my G?
I think what's it called? After the buying game, I think I said, our season essentially starts again on the weekend, and we got the winner.
No, let's get it
wait,
right.
Wait, let me finish.
You said our season was done, my brother. Nah, you can't start off with Cat.
Hold on. I said, as far as competing for anything meaningful this season, our season is done, and I stand by that wholeheartedly. But our season has to start again on the weekend, which was Burnley, and we have to put together a run of 4, 5, 6 games where we win on the bounce, build some confidence, and start to look like something of a team. Because up until this point, we have not looked like a team that looks like they want to do anything. You know what I mean? And obviously, the Burnley game was the Burnley game. I think we played trash, but we got the win. Today was more dominant. Today was what I was hoping we would get when we signed Ten Hag. Today was us being on the ball, us dictating how we want to play, winning the ball back high up, creating more chances. And I think if we can see that another 4 or 5 times, I think a lot of the naysayers and a lot of the haters will go quiet. I think as far as today, I was really happy to see that he rotated it. I think Ten Hag's learning the league. I think the mistake that he made last season was playing the same players in every competition over and over again, running them into the ground. And I think he's learned that you just can't do that in the Premier League because every game is a slog. Every game's tough. And when it starts to build up, the players just don't have the legs to keep going at the rate that he wanted them to. So, to be honest, today, there's nothing to complain about. Martial scored a goal, which was wild. That was interesting. that was interesting. Garnacho got on the score sheet. That was lovely. Casemiro looked like good old Casemiro. When I tried to tell you people that games are won and lost in the midfield and having one man trying to do all the jobs in the midfield, then he might look suspicious because he can't do all of them. But yeah, there's nothing to complain about today. I'm quite happy, to be honest.
Yeah, he had an Amrabat hold his hand. Like I told you, he usually needs someone to hold his hand. And I got called a dumb American when I said that.
Let's keep this normal here. It's not, guys, I was just going to say, this isn't about holding hands. This is not UFC. This is not boxing or tennis. This is football. It's a damn team sport. Everybody, listen, as great as Messi was, I guarantee you he doesn't win the Champions League if he was playing for Leyton Orient. Guarantee you.
Fact.
So and you need a good team around you.
It's about having the right balance of players, and I think Ten Hag was still tinkering with trying to find the balance. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets it wrong a couple more times in the coming weeks. Because as everybody gets fit, I would not be surprised at all if he tries a combination of midfielders that just doesn't work and we get overrun again. But I think it's about having players that complement each other as opposed to expose each other's weaknesses. Hopefully, Amrabat gets more starts because I love the guy. He looks really good. He looks really good, to be honest. And it's been a good day, to be honest.
It has been a good.